I don't even know where to begin. James Gunn, DC, and Warner Brothers Studios just dropped the first teaser trailer for Superman, and it looks really good. It was flashy, it was stylish, it was sincere, fun, traumatic, and heartfelt, all in what felt like the fastest 2 minutes I've ever experienced in my life. And I kinda want to talk about it. First off, I just want to say that I trust James Gunn, and I have from the beginning. I feel like a lot of the general public, and even comic book fans alike, will have their reservations about this movie, specifically because of his direction and storytelling style. He's quirky, he's silly, he could be comedic, and sometimes it's a detriment when he's talking about some of the most beloved superhero icons of the genre. I can see why people are afraid that those elements will make their way into Superman, a character who isn't exactly known for edgy quips or one-liners, but I do believe with 100% of my heart that even though James Gunn often relies on comedy to engage with majority audiences, the heart and soul always prevails. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is a perfect example of what James Gunn is capable of when balancing comedy and substance. Rocket, Quill, Nebula, Gamora, Drax, and Mantis are all at the peak of their game in this film. It's the closest they've ever felt to a dysfunctional yet loving family, and I say that knowing fully that Peter is a drunk, Rocket is trauma-ridden, Drax is a recluse for his emotions, Nebula is an overly stressed-out parent, Mantis is a naive child, and Gamora is literally a completely different person than she once was. The Guardians go from grief-ridden, family-longing, broken-hearted people to a perseverance and togetherness-fueled family who accept the concept of change and embrace the road they face towards their individual futures. And that's not even counting the underlying messages of animal cruelty, learning when to let go, and embracing imperfection. My point here is that if anyone could tell a tale of Clark Kent, the Superman, the God amongst man, and the struggling balance between responsibility with a personal life, a love life, and everything human that exists in between, it's James frickin' Gunn. In this new teaser trailer, we open with the beautiful Arctic landscape, and we're immediately thrown into meeting the new Man of Steel as he lays in the snow in hurling pain, blood pouring from his mouth and gasping for air. When was the last time we've seen Superman this defeated? Sure, he died in 2016's Batman v Superman, but death is different from this. This is defeat, even though he may have won the battle that resulted. Superman literally looks like how I used to look like when I threw myself off a swing set and landed on my chest. The shot of David's eye is so telling that he feels defeat. Now sure, we don't exactly know what happened during this scene. I'm just pulling at straws here, but from across the trailer, we can see many shots of Superman looking like he's going through some rough shit. His suit's all dirty here, he's fighting someone who can clearly hold his own, there's even a weird dragon creature that he faces off against with the help of Hawkgirl and Green Lantern. My point here is, Superman looks like he's going through a rough time, and things don't look good for Clark either. We get this kind of ominous shot that Clark is presumably with Jonathan Kent sitting on their patio. Clark looks like he's about to cry as he holds his father close. If I had to make any guesses as to where this story's going, it's this. Superman 2025 is going to be about Clark and his struggle with alienation. I believe that we're going to get an emotionally reserved take on the character, one that puts up a facade of heroism for the people who view him as a symbol of hope, when really he feels alone and out of place in a world where other superheroes exist, but not like how they should. I read a rumor a long time ago about Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, and Green Lantern acting like company puppets, and if that's the case, I'm sure that's gonna fuel Clark's feelings of being different in this story. To me, Clark would definitely have reservations about working for a company or a government as a hero, so I'm sure his heroic antics are just gonna get in the way of the others, potentially creating tension, which is where I also imagine Lex's hatred for him comes from. Basically, I get the feeling that Clark wants to do good in a world that doesn't appreciate him, because he's acting out on his own instead of conspiring to be a part of whatever the other heroes are a part of. The only time we even remotely see Clark feeling comfortable with himself in this teaser is when he's with Lois. I believe that their relationship will be at the forefront of this story. In a world where Clark has to pretend to be someone as a reporter for the Daily Planet, pretend to be someone as a superhero for the people, Lois will be the only person who allows Clark to just be himself in this movie. Sure, Jonathan seems alive for now, but the trailer suggests he won't be for very long in this movie. Lois may be the only outlet for all this pent-up emotion. We even see a shot of Superman watching in disarray and misery as this robot thing lays dying on the ground. Basically, above all else, I believe this story will embody all the heart and hope that is synonymous with the character of Superman. I believe that there will be fun, there will be jokes, there will be outlandish and silly subplots and characters meant to keep the general public engaged and entertained. I also believe that this film, at its epicenter, will be full of heartwarming, emotional, and inspiring storytelling. I believe that because I believe in James Gunn. He is that guy. He's proven himself time and time again with the comic book genre. Am I a little nervous? Yeah, of course I am. This is being marketed as the first film in a new line of films for the DCU. This is being marketed as an already expanded and developed world. James has already told us this is the Kickstarter for his new cinematic universe, and that terrifies me. You know what DC excels at? Super self-contained stories like Joker, the Batman, the Suicide Squad, hell, even frickin' Birds of Prey for the most part. Grouping Superman into a larger-than-life world, already established with heroes and an expanding universe, is a gamble for your Kickstarter film. And the thought of this movie not measuring up to the task, the thought of this movie falling flat, will be present until the day I sit my ass in the theater. But despite all that, despite all my reservations, anxieties, fears, my reluctantness at some of the creative and overarching goals this movie is taking, there is hope. Hope lives for the DC Universe because I trust James Gunn to deliver what he promises us. I understand how that can be difficult for others, but for me, hope is enough. That's what Superman is about. So bring it home for us, James. Bring us home. Remind us why we love DC. Remind us all that hope still exists.